that most of the churches have been very friendly, but the one here in Cedar Rapids, I think, has been more friendly than many of the others. And I think I've had friends in all of them because you have to show yourself friendly if you're going to have friends. That's one of the things that I would think that I see people come in and look like they've been drugged through a knothole or something in the church sometime. Not very many of them, but every once in a while it's like the cow had kicked them when they were milking it or something, you know. And, they just think the world has treated them kind of mean. So they look that way. Others come in, their face shining, you know, how are you today? And a lot different.
Do you think
you
that...
have to show yourself a little bit friendly if you want friends.
Do you think that as you've become older, has it become easier for you to make connections with other people?
I don't think it's changed being older, making friends, probably to some extent maybe. I think you become more subdued when you get older. Some of the mean ways you've had kind of smooth over, you know. I saw a change in my father quite a lot.
He became more gentle when he got older.
Yeah, well, he still showed some of it. He come and lived with us when he was in his 90s. He went into a store and he picked up a bag of apples, and he said to the clerk there, she was a nice young looking one, are these apples ripe? Well, she said, really, I don't know. She said, I have never opened the bag up and tasted it. And he tore into her, and he said, well, you're getting paid to know exactly what everything is right in this store. You're getting paid to answer my questions, you know. Well, he tore into her, I don't know what. I didn't say anything when I got him home. I said, now listen, Dad, I have a fairly nice name in this community, and I don't appreciate you tearing people. I said, that gal has no right. They'd probably put her in prison if she opened that up and took a bite of the apple and put it back in there and sealed it up and sold it to you.
Yeah.
They'd probably put her in prison. I said, you have no right to. And he kind of calmed down there.
Oh, I see.
Then I took him to a market. This time he really exploded. But he bought some things and put in a bag, and somebody else bought some things and put in a bag. When they went to pay for them, they set them down side by side. Well, this other person took his bag, and when he got home, well, I didn't buy these things. He was about ready to go sky high. He blamed the people that held the market because they're supposed to take care of all that stuff. They're not supposed to let that happen, you know.
Right.
Well, he was all raised up and ready to tell them off. I said, don't worry about it. I said, well, I'll take you back and they'll give you what you bought, so you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
I took him back and he was all fired up, ready. Hey, you guys, what's the matter with you? Aren't you paid to keep the thing going straight? He really told him the right act. Well, that was the second time when I got home, I got after him. But after that, I took him, he couldn't drive because he didn't want to take the test. And he saw that I was at another end of the store when he got that.
Yeah.
You know what store I was. He's pretty careful how he talks about it.
Yeah.
When he was about, I would say 60 years old, he came and worked in the shop where I was, in the spring factory where I was supervisor. And when he got his first paycheck, he couldn't understand it. They took out for this and that, you know. Oh, he said, well, surely I ought to make a paycheck so you can understand. I said, now listen, if you've got any questions, you just go into the office and ask them, and they'll answer. So he kind of simmered down, he went in, but he didn't like it. He said you ought to make a paycheck so you can understand it. If you earn so many dollars, you ought to be on there so many dollars. You shouldn't take out for this and take out for that. I said, well, Dad, I said, that's the way they're going to do it, and you're not going to change it. You might as well make up your mind. But I said, if you've got any questions about it, you just go right in the office and ask them. I said, that's the way to find out. Well, he didn't go in the office. So I told him what would happen if he went in there. I said, they're not going to change you. So my dad was quite a man, quite a fellow. And his mother was just exactly like it. She's the one that set me down in my high chair so hard I ate everything on my plate. In a hurry.
Well, I guess we all know where our tempers come from now, huh?
And the grandfather, my grandfather, he was just as meek and mild. You couldn't ask for a milder person. But she was very outside, and everything had to go her way. When he died, he was trembling like this. I saw him when he died. He was just, she just made life miserable for him, but he stuck it out. And my mother, same way, just mild, wanted to get over in the corner, not even be seen. Very, very mild, very, very mild. Nothing, I don't know how in the world she ever stayed with my father all those years. He was so, he had a razor strap hanging to the door and he used it.
On his animals, you say?
Huh?
On his animals?
No. One time he was punishing a horse. He had a black snake, and they are made so that they cut right through even the hide on a horse's. And he whipped that horse till he was so tired he couldn't whip her anymore. I was about probably 16, 17. And he said, now I'd like to have you punish him. I said, Dad. I didn't say Dad, I said Papa. I said, Papa, that horse didn't know what he's getting whipped for. And I said, you've punished him enough. I'm not punishing. Here I was 16 years old. Probably 15, 16, something like that. But he was good to his animals as long as they were good. But when they weren't good, and I don't, his mind was not the same as mine entirely. I figured I was kind of about halfway in between my mother and my father. And I have two sisters that were a lot like him, Marie and Beulah.
Oh, really? They had fiery tempers as well?
Yeah, well, you didn't see the tempers so terribly bad, but now my sister Beulah, he didn't want anybody, I didn't care how old you were, to call him anything but Papa. He had to be Papa. And she wouldn't do that. She said, Dad. And that made him red in the face and mad and angry. Because she called him Dad after she grew up and went away from home. She's the only one that remained an Adventist. I think she claims she went to church on Sabbath and Sunday both. I don't know if she actually became an Adventist or not. I don't think she did. I saw her not very long before she died. Well, we had an interesting family. My brother was very calm and very collected. My younger sister, only one living now, is I would say a good deal. She's laughable and you know, I don't think she gets angry or anything like that, but she's very outgoing to a certain extent. But she married a man, her last marriage, same age I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He died.
How old is she right now?
She's 20 years younger than I am.
Oh, really? So she's about 80 at the moment. In her 80s. She's
only two of us living, the oldest and the youngest. And she's not in very good shape. She had 3 bypasses already.
Oh my.
I don't know how it happened, but she's a jolly person.
Right.
I don't think he'd get her angry.
Yeah.
Rita, the one that died first, young, 65, she was just a nice person. She was just so jolly. Such a nice person. It made me very sad when she died. She I think she was upset about something, I don't know. She was discouraged or something. And she took some medicine along with the stuff. Her husband was a dentist. And they always have, alcohol, but something else they give you to deaden you. And there was plenty of that around, and she took some of that at the same time and she died.
I see.
So some people think she killed herself.
No.
I just can't believe she did.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And he passed away a year later. I think it affected him.
Probably he missed his wife and...
It was down in Gainesville, Georgia.
Hmm.
Gainesville, Georgia.